Hello lovely people, and welcome back to another book chat. It's been so long since I've done one of these. I've started about 4 times already. Realised that I needed to mention the fact that the last one I did was before the latest Gobbelino book was mentioned. Realised I didn't have the book with me. Yeah, okay, so we'll hope that this one works and I can keep going without stopping again. But on the plus side, the tuis are out and about. I keep hearing them, so obviously now I've said that we probably won't hear them, but if you hear some really nice bird noises and I'm ignoring them, it's probably the tuis. No, see, they stop every time I think. There we go. Okay, so yeah, the last time that I did a book chat was before the release of the latest Gobbelino London book, which is A Warrior of Wares, and there's that awesome cover with the doghouse on the back, which is absolutely brilliant. So yeah, thank you so much to everyone who's been so patient with the sort of the long gaps between the books and that sort of thing. Hopefully we'll be able to close those up a little bit now. Next Beaufort's underway, so I'm hoping to have that out before the end of the year, and in fact I'm even hoping to have another Gobbelino before the end of the year as well. But plans and myself, we don't get on so well, and that's in life as well as in books. So yeah, we'll see how that goes, but I shall keep you updated. But if you have not read the latest Gobbelino, it is available now at all your favourite retailers, obviously, in paperback and an ebook. And you can just go to the website, and I've got a books link there, and you'll be able to find them all. Or if I'm even organised, I might even put it in the post below this, but I probably won't. Because yes, organisation is kind of along with plans with me. Anyway, we're going to talk about not the books I wrote, even though I'm very excited about that, and I never stop getting excited about new books. Books I have read since the last time we spoke, which hasn't actually been that many, considering it's a couple of months, I guess, since I've done these ones. But you know, if you're following the blog and the newsletter, you know that things have been a little bit up and down recently. So my reading's not been where it normally would. And in fact, one of the books I was really looking forward to reading was Caimh McDonnell. I meant to look it up again. Caimh McDonnell's second installment in the Stranger Times series, which is called This Charming Man. And I actually started it, but my focus was so bad that I was like, I've got to save it. I'm going to have to wait. So I haven't actually started that one, but I have been reading some of his other books, among other things. And the other one that I'm waiting to start, and I'm just going to give it a little bit of a shout out now, is the sequel to Hoard It All Before by Tammy Painter. That's no. Yeah, okay, I can't find the cover. My Kindle's had an update, and now I can't find anything. Everything's in series, which is awesome, but then I'll go into the series and I can't find the book I'm looking for, so I'll figure it out eventually. Anyway, let me talk about the books that I have been reading. So, weirdly, I got kind of into a bit of a horror kick, so let's talk about that first. So, I read The Book of Accidents by Chuck Wendig, and I've sort of had a mixed experience with his books. I love his website. He writes great things, particularly if you're a writer or a creative. He writes absolutely fantastic blog posts, and definitely worth checking that out. Terrible Minds, I think it's called. But look for Chuck Wendig, and obviously it'll come up. I really enjoyed his Mookie Pearl books. There was a duology of those. But there's another one that I tried to start, and it didn't work for me at all. Whereas this one was quite a classic sort of almost haunted house horror kind of thing, or also tied back to the house in this one particular family. And it was really good. You know, it was a good horror read. It wasn't overly gory. There was lots of suspense. It was interesting. So yeah, I did enjoy that one. So that's The Book of Accidents by Chuck Wendig. There we go. So that was my sort of start of my horror kick. Let's see if I can navigate this new thing now. Oh man, see, I've lost everything again. Oh no, I haven't. Okay. Also, uplifting reading at the moment. Last One at the Party by Bethany Clift. Now, I've never read any of hers before, It's a post-apocalyptic novel. Horrible virus tears. It was written during the pandemic, I believe, if I remember right. Um, but yeah, so terrible virus tears through the world. It kills like over 99% of the population. This one woman, who is honestly, she's not doing great at life, really. It's kind of one of those ones on the surface, it's looking good, inside things aren't looking so good. Um, and she's just not really, she's sort of the least suitable person to survive an end of world event. You just, you would normally think there's no way that she can manage, but it is about her discovering this inner strength and how she manages to keep going, even when she doesn't really want to. And it could be quite a dark and depressing book, or it could be the one where you just really get so annoyed at the narrator. But actually, it's really well done. And yes, she's frustrating, and yes, sometimes you just want to shake her and go, "Oh, come on, think for a second." But the growth of the character, the actual character arc, is actually fantastic. And by the end of it, I was just like, yeah. So it was I really enjoyed that one. Last One at the Party by Bethany Clift. So I haven't read any of her others, but I will be looking for some more. Right. Oh, look at that. I got right back in. The Power of the Dog. Now, obviously I'm doing my usual thing where I'm not mentioning everything I've read, but sort of the standouts. After all the sort of, I very rarely read things when there's any fuss about them, whether that means they're a new release or whether a movie's been made about them, as in the case of The Power of the Dog. But I really enjoyed the movie, so I was like, oh, we'll just try the book. And this is one of those really rare occasions where it was just sort of 6 of 1. The book was good, the movie was good, I enjoyed them both, but I don't think there was any advantage to either of them. So there's a question for you. Have you had that experience with a book and a movie before? Are there books that you've preferred the movie to? Or, obviously, we all have so many books that we prefer to the movie version. So let's go the other way. What's been your favourite adaptation that's been better than the book? Or what's been one where you've sort of read one and watched one and just gone, oh, no, I don't actually have a favourite there. So, The Power of the Dog by Thomas Savage. And it was a good read, but honestly, I don't really think I gained an awful lot from the reading as opposed to just watching the movie, which was also the cinematography. Amazing cinematography, absolutely beautiful. It is a stunning, just visually, an incredibly powerful movie as well. So I really enjoyed that, if you're looking for something to watch. So, right, then I got on to a humorous crime fiction kick, and I think in the last one I may have mentioned reading I think it was a werewolf one by Heide, Goody and Iain Grant, and a while ago I mentioned reading Sealfinger, which was the first instalment of their Sam Applewhite series. So I then read the next 3 that were out. I just kept reading one and buying the next one, and they were exactly what I needed. So Sandraker, that's the 3rd one, and I'd say that's my favourite because it's set in Skegness, and the closest I can get is it's Carl Hiason, but set in Skegness instead of Florida. It's bonkers, off the wall sort of crime fiction. There's no supernatural elements, which obviously is different for me, but everything just gets stranger and stranger and stranger as the story goes on until you end up in some mad finale, and normally where the bad guys get their comeuppance in quite a spectacular and violent manner. I don't find them overly violent. They're not overly gory. They have got a good sense of humour. They're a wee bit meandering. They're not fast-paced. There's lots of bits that could probably be trimmed out, but they're also very entertaining. And as far as an undemanding crime read, they were exactly what I needed. And the reason I liked Sandraker so much is because it doesn't introduce, but it goes further into the Odinson clan, who are these self-styled Yorkshire Vikings who live near Skegness. And they're hilarious and they're brilliant, and I love them so much, and they must be in all the books hereafter, as must also Sam Applewhite's dad, who is a treasure, and I adore him. So there we go. Read these for really fun, undemanding, just kind of off-the-wall crime fiction. So it's Heide, Goody and Iain Grant. It's the Sam Applewhite series, and there were 4 out at that point. They're quick to publish, so there could quite possibly be another one out already. I know there were more planned. Okay. Finishing off, back to Caimh McDonnell, who I started with, and now I get to call him C.K. McDonnell because I was reading his. Oh no, I don't. No, C.K. McDonnell is his Stranger Times name. So this is his full name, Caimh McDonnell, and I'm really sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. I did look it up last time and then I forgot to this time. The Dublin Trilogy. Okay, so ages ago I read The Man with One of Those Faces, which is the first book in it, and I enjoyed it, but there wasn't another one out, and then I got it muddled up with another one which I hadn't enjoyed as much, and I just got very confused about the whole thing. So I started, these happened to be on sale, so I started again from the beginning. And it is a trilogy which has 4 box sets containing 8 books. No, some of them are novellas and some of them are short stories, but there are 4 full-length novels in the trilogy, which is Shades of Douglas Adams. So that's the first box set. So you can see there's 2 books, and I think one's a novella and one's a short story, or they might both be short stories, I don't know. Anyway, very fun, set in Dublin, again, kind of crime capers, with a D.I. Bunny McGarry, who is a slightly terrifying police officer, and most of the stories centre around either him, or well, all the stories centre around either him or a private investigation firm which is set up between him and another 2 civilians, essentially. They're all very funny. I would say some of the last book that I read of his, which is The Last Supper, I think, was a little bit darker, but they're all good. They all have a really good sense of humour for them. Again, quite violent in places, but that sort of comedic violence which never feels that bad to me because it's a little bit comic booky. And yeah, did enjoy those. Again, kind of meandering in places, not hugely fast paced, but interesting. Some great characters. The Sisters of the Saint, this amazing order of nuns who are just hilarious and brilliant. They had their own little novella in the second collection as well, which is great fun and definitely worth reading. There's also this amazing dog, which is an ex-police dog who manages to eat too many drugs on a bus, and she's never quite right after that, but she's fantastic. So yeah, basically those are my 2 favourite characters, who are none of the main characters, but definitely worth the read. So that's the Dublin Trilogy Deluxe, Part 1. I've also just finished Part 2, but I won't show you that one because then I can't find it again. So yeah, really good reading if you're looking for some fun crime. Again, no supernatural elements in those ones, but just good fun reads. So that has been what I have been reading recently, which has been a little bit all over the place, but heavy emphasis at the moment. I've been I went from the Sam Applewhite series to the Dublin Trilogy pretty much seamlessly, so I've just been on a crime fiction kick for a while, and the next one that I've bought has been an urban Welsh crime fiction, so obviously that's where I am right now. Yes. So, tell me what your favourite reads have been recently. Have you got any trends going on where you're sticking to particular genres or subgenres that you're really enjoying? Again, just, yeah, that one about adaptations for movie or TV. Has there been one in particular where you've preferred the movie or TV adaptation? One where you've been like, oh, not really indifferent? Let me know about those. And of course, don't forget to read more of your wares if you haven't already, and if you're hanging out for the next Beaufort, it is coming, I promise. Writing is underway, slow and steady at the moment. Like I say, things have been a bit up and down, but yeah, it will be out before the end of the year, definitely, and hopefully a lot sooner, and I will keep you updated. Thanks so much, lovely people. Hope you're looking after yourselves wherever you are. I'm going to run inside now because it's starting to get windy, and we actually have winter here, as bright and sunny as it actually is. Yeah, I'm sitting in the shade, it's a little bit chilly. Okay, so happy reading, look after yourselves, see you next time, bye.